What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Love and War. As always, I'm going to be the Kate Murphy. You can find me on Instagram at the Kate Murphy. You can find me on Twitter at the Kate Murphy _. And you can find me being joined, as always, each and every week by my lovely co-host, King Ricky Rose. What's going on, Ricky?
Nothing. I feel like a workman today, so that's why I have the workman's title, the IC
like
title, around on my shoulder right now because it can't fit around my waist just yet. It's still in ring shape. I'm still trying to get to ring shape, so eventually it'll fit around my waist at some point in the future. So I'm doing pretty well. The XFL is on right now, and so far, very exciting stuff.
Who's
with the
playing
XFL.
right now?
Right now we have the DC Defenders, and the Seattle Dragons. What I'm enjoying about this right now, one, a pretty good crowd, very good turnout, and it's very quality football right now. It's not Ricky Prohl. Holy crap, Ricky Prohl has been around in ages.
Maybe I'll watch XFL. Is there another game on later?
There's one game on at 5 o'clock.
Cool, I'll watch that.
Yeah, I forgot who's playing the 5 o'clock game. But that's the game that's on Fox. This game is on ESPN right now.
Perfect.
So good stuff so far. But let's get into what we're talking about this week in Love and War.
So this week on Love and War, we're going to have ourselves a little digital get down and talk about online dating.
Ew.
Why ew?
Well, here's the thing with online dating. For me at least, like I tell people, like I'm kind of like there's onions have layers and ogres have layers. So there's a lot to me. Like I don't want to too much be like I'm a complex, deep person intellectually, but like there's a lot of facets to my personality that I've come to learn, and it's hard to encapsulate all of who I am and embody all of who I am and what I believe for, and all the experiences I've had within like a limited character limit and a couple of pictures.
Yeah.
So I find it difficult. I also find digital and online dating difficult at all because also like I have a background in therapy and psychology. So like for me, when I want to get to know a person, I want to meet them in real life. I want to talk to them. I want to, kind of play off of their body cues and read their body language. Like that's kind of like my wheelhouse. So to potentially even get some sort of connection with somebody and not being able to kind of see them and just like read text and stuff is really difficult for me. It's not what I'm accustomed to. However, there are exceptions to every rule.
Yeah. I feel the same way about online dating because, like you said, like there is so much about me as a person, and for whatever reason, I can't convey that at all online.
It's hard.
There's so many filtered selfies I can put up, but like they don't tell anything about me. Like I rejoined Tinder when we decided to start war just to get back in there, experiment, have shit to talk about on the show. And I've tried to, highlight who I am as a person, like all different aspects of me. So like I think I have like a picture of me like playing the ukulele. I have one of me, I think at Mania, like just to show like these are different facets of who I am as a person. But I don't think it doesn't do me justice. Like I am not a bite-sized person. I don't have a bite-sized personality. You can't consume me in 160 characters or less. You just can't.
You're just a tiny person, physically.
I'm a tiny person has a very big personality.
Yes.
You've tailgated with me. You've seen how that goes.
It's very true. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't like online dating, but I've done it. But it's been very minimal success.
Yeah,
if we can even constitute success.
Yeah, I find that honestly, like 9 times out of 10, like I don't even meet people I match with or speak to.
Agreed.
I think it's like a 1% chance in that happening. Like we spoke last week about going on a first date. This week we're gonna like backtrack a little bit and then go to what leads up to a first date. And in 2020, I'm sorry, first dates start in an inbox usually. And that's fucking so sad. I grew up watching Disney movies and all these love movies, and like I wasn't prepared for this.
But I think they romanticize that aspect of it a lot. Like, you ever try to talk to somebody on a New York City subway?
God,
Like,
no. You don't talk to people on the subway.
exactly, like every like all these rom-coms and stuff always be like, oh, they bumped into each other on the street and it was like love at first sight. And that shit's not true. No one wants to talk to you in New York. Like it's and also like you ever try to pick up somebody at a bar? That's very hit and miss. For like a serious relationship and not like a one night stand or like a quick hookup or something like that.
I'm trying to think back to like my dating history and like see how many of my relationships do not have a foundation on social media and like Tinder. I think one.
I'm looking back at my dating history.
Like not counting like middle school or high school, like in my adult life since online dating has become a thing. I have had one.
Which is really funny because, like, thinking about my online dating history and then just history of dating in general, a lot of my relationships or relationships, as I like to call them from time to time, all happen when for the most part, I met them in person first. There's only been a handful. There actually might only be just one, but I actually did not meet in person first, and I met online, and then we met months down the road. But that was months in the making, and not without a couple of hiccups in between too.
Yeah, I mean, I have found that a lot of the people that I have matched with, they're not like complete 100% strangers. They're people that I've either encountered like within the Long Island music scene or they know people I'm friends with. Like it's not a total like shot in the dark sort of situation. But
yeah, it's usually familiarity really helps.
Yeah. I have only one ex that I met because of like a legit like in real life situation. It was AJ. My friends introduced us. We were at the Lizard Lounge for karaoke. They had invited their friend Mike to come to karaoke with a bunch of us, and then he brought AJ. And my friend Danielle literally brought me over and kind of did like a have you met Kate sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time I've ever like not met somebody and had like have it be on my phone.
And how did that work out for you?
It's my best friend in the world.
Exactly.
Best friend in the world. We have matching tattoos. Like, whereas all my other exes I don't talk to at all.
And don't have matching tattoos?
Definitely not. Oh gosh.
So you kind of make me want to get back on to like a dating app just for shits and giggles, so I'm gonna have something to review on this
It's
show.
good for fun.
It is. I mean, we can do one episode where you can help me through like creating my profile for a dating app.
Okay.
Or I might have to just come out and visit you, and we'll do like one shot together, and we'll just create.
We'll like record
app.
live, like updating each other's profiles, because I'm sure I'm doing shit wrong too.
Oh, we could do? We could swipe on other people's profiles.
Oh my god, yes!
I've done that before.
Let's do that.
As we're brainstorming random ideas for the show, but yeah, I'll have to come over one weekend and we'll swipe on each other's dating profiles and see if we get matches. And
Let's
things
do
like
it. I feel like I need a fresh set of eyes half the time. But I've noticed since I'm going to be 29 this summer, which means I have had to change my age parameters and start including men, women, and other people in their 30s.
Isn't it weird?
It's bleak. Oh my god, it's so fucking bleak and I hate it.
It's really hard. You gotta find somebody who doesn't have kids.
I don't even care about that. It's just, I sound so fucking shallow and I'm going to get yelled at a lot. But the men are ugly.
Yeah,
well, not that they're ugly, but like, I'm not attracted to them at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I try to match with the women, it's like in terms of like attractiveness is much easier and better. But they don't match with you.
Yeah, it's really hard when you get close into your 30s now, because now you're like, I feel like it's like slim pickings.
Yeah.
Like you're grasping at straws at this point, or like
And
someone's
I'm too picky to be grasping at straws.
or someone's
And
like recently divorced and going on like their newly single like brigade and all this stuff. So it's a lot.
it's like way too much to deal with. And like I've accepted the fact that like there's a very good possibility that like I'm probably gonna end up a step parent. Because that's just how Long Island dating seems to go.
You've come to that reality.
Yeah, and like,
Congratulations.
uh, yo, being almost 30 sucks. Like, I'm like excited about my 30s, like overall, because from what I understand, your 30s are your 20s, but with money.
Yep. Oh my
Which
God, it's amazing.
which is why I'm like hyped to turn 30 next year.
I blow so much money.
Like even like my late 20s, like I've gotten a little bit more fiscally responsible, but like I've started like doing things for myself. You know, like I went to Mania last year. I'm starting to travel a bit more.
Yeah.
And making more informed financial decisions. So like my tattoos, like when I get tattooed, I know it's quality shit and it's not, I didn't get a shitty tattoo just to have another shitty tattoo. Definitely not targeting anybody.
No, not at all.
But that's things like that come when you get older, and I feel like I put a lot of research and I put in a lot of time trying to decide like where I'm gonna get tattooed, or like what do I want to eat, like what kind of stuff do I want to put in my body, I want to make informed, ethical, healthy choices, and I need to make the same decisions when I date.
So what do you
I'm
look
not
for
gonna
in
swipe right on every fuck boy I find.
So because there's a logic behind swiping right on everything, because then you can just weed them out as you match with them. But then again, I get upset if someone matches me and then they just automatically unmatch. So
I feel disingenuous automatically swiping right on everyone because I know I'm not going to talk to like an overwhelming majority of those people, and I don't think that's nice to give somebody false hope.
fair.
Like I try to be like kind and mindful about how I engage myself, like especially like romantically, but just overall as a person.
Yeah.
I have like really specific, and this is mostly with guys because even though like I'm queer, so I am attracted to other types of people besides guys, people automatically assume that I have like the time of my life dating. Like, oh, you probably have a different partner. Like, you're going on dates all the time. You can talk to men and women and like people that don't identify as. And they're like, no, you would think I have more options, and you would think that I'm like pimping out, but you couldn't be more wrong about that at all. With men, I interacting with men the most because men are the most likely to respond. Because, like you said, a lot of men do follow the swipe right to anything mentality. So
Then weed it out later.
Exactly, and I get unmatched quite frequently, especially if they speak to me. 9 times out of 10, if they speak to me, I am unmatched within the week.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
I just like talk to people, but my issue is like I don't like flirt.
How do you not flirt? Do you not know how to flirt?
I can like flirt like when it's bad. I can flirt when I'm already in the
You're an awkward turtle.
You have no idea.
You're an awkward turtle is what you're telling me.
I just like talk to people, and 9 times out of 10 the conversation goes to wrestling within the first like hour. And 9 times out of 10 the conversation goes, oh, I watched it when I was little. My favorites were Undertaker and Sting and Kane.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Missed field goal.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, and I do have one funny Tinder and wrestling related story.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take it back to April 2017. This is pre-sobriety.
Uh-huh.
This is pre me knowing any of you. I was just wilding out. I had never gone to a WWE event before in my life. I had tickets to go to the New Nassau Coliseum to go to the Superstar Shakedown.
Superstar Shake-Up, yes. I was there as well.
Yes.
Myself, Dave, and Will were also in the building that day.
Were you all together or were you all separate?
We were all together. We bought tickets together.
Okay. So the feature of Wrestle Addict Radio was way up in section like 200 without y'all even knowing.
Yes, and also another member of the Valkyrie almost showed up too.
Yes. So the night before, I had plans with some of my girlfriends, and this was also back in the time when Tinder had a feature called Tinder Social.
What was Tinder Social?
Tinder Social was you could like make groups like with your friends, and you could like you as a group could go out and find other groups. So like me and her would like make a group, and then we would look for groups of dudes looking to do stuff.
Oh.
And then you would like match with the one friend. She would match. They don't do that anymore. It's stupid.
Why did they get rid of it? That sounds amazing.
It was. So my friend Alice and we had like a really great girls' day. So this was actually the same day that it was the house show at the Coliseum where Paige got injured, and I did not go.
Okay.
Because I was doing this instead. So my girlfriend and I, we drove out to Nassau. We went to Roosevelt Field, like went shopping, went for pork buns, had a great day. And I didn't have work that day. I just had to go to Starbucks at 10 p.m. for like a quick staff meeting.
Okay.
Which would take an hour. So beforehand, we're like, oh, like let's go get a drink like across the street at Recipe 7. There's just a bar right by my old job. And what turned into one drink turned into me showing up to the meeting completely trashed.
Good job.
And then after the meeting was over, we're like, fuck yeah, let's go back and do it again. So we went back to the bar, and then we decided like we were drunk enough to go on Tinder Social. And this is the night before I'm going to my first Raw. I'm drunk and I'm excited about wrestling. So we matched with these two guys. I could not tell you what their names are. I could not tell you what they look like. Nothing. I know nothing about that date. We went to some like shitty hole-in-the-wall bar. I don't know why. I think like my friend knew somebody that worked there, and that's why we went there.
Okay.
But she and her guy are like making out like automatically. Like they're having fun. This poor man has to listen to my drunk ass talking to him about Jeff Hardy. I was going off about how I was going to fucking Raw the next day. Like, and this was around the time where I submitted my resume to the WWE 4 times in a year. So this was around this time. So I'm drunk going on how I'm going to work for the WWE. Man, I'm going to make a career out of like wrestling. And this guy's like, okay, lady, whatever. He ends up leaving.
Wow. And now you're stuck being the awkward third wheel.
Yeah. To my friends making out. My friend and her man making out. We never saw them again, obviously. But like.
Yeah.
Ever since I had that horrible experience, I like struggle with talking to potential partners about wrestling because I get really excited about wrestling really quickly. I mean, you've gone to events with me. You've seen my pure reactions to wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think.
But you need to find somebody who appreciates your freaking out the wrestling.
However, no, because I have also dated people that. Oh wait, I lied before. By the way, I have one other ex that I did not meet through social media. Yeah, because I forget I date this kid all the time. Whoops.
You date this kid all the time when you guys are.
No, like I forget constantly that I ever dated him.
Oh, by choice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep.
I know him. Great guy.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. No, we met through friends as well. I forgot that. I forget he happened. But, like, he was, like, one of the only exes I ever had that, like, appreciated, like, wrestling. Like, we went to events together and stuff, but, like, it just wasn't the right situation. So, like, I haven't really had too many relationships where I can bring my love in wrestling without it being weird. Like, I had an ex-partner, and they were, like, really into wrestling, too, so it was great.
Yeah.
Just not the right relationship. Good friend of mine to this day, just not right, like, romantically.
Yeah, I had the girl that I went to, that I spent, like, hours in Taco Joe's with. I geeked out with wrestling her once, and, like, she was okay with it. I don't know if she thought it was weird or not, but, like, it was my thing, and she was okay with it. There's only been one instance in which, being a wrestling fan helped me in my advantage because she was also a big wrestling fan. So it worked out. And this is like maybe the only semi-success story about me meeting somebody on social media, and I say social media because it wasn't a dating app. And I know we're talking about like digital get down, and ironically, the most success I've ever had with any dating app was none. But the biggest success I've had with dating app,
I'm sorry to laugh.
but it's the truth. But it was Twitter of all things, and
Oh,
yes, yeah, Twitter was my most success finding somebody that just like we just immediately hit it off and we had similar interests. Um, and she was an avid wrestling fan. She just and we it was a lot of stuff at once. It was around when I had started podcasting and stuff, and I was taking over the social media. So I was a lot more active on my own personal social media than I am now, which I'm trying to get back into that. But you know, it was cool. It was interesting. The only problem was they lived in a different country.
yeah. I feel like zip code is an important factor in dating.
Sometimes it depends on if you can handle long distance. I feel like, in my own opinion, I feel like I could have made it work. This is an elongated story about someone you may know,
Oh,
or
I cannot wait.
or somebody that we used to know. Um,
Didn't
so-
man to cut me off. Sorry.
yeah, so so it's a matter with distance. It's a whole thing with communication. You can make it work. There's been distance stuff where
You
you can
can.
make you've got to make it work. You've got to communicate. You've got to be on the same page. You've really got to put in effort on both sides to make things work. And when all you have is communication, you don't have that physicality. Um, it's different, but that's also a double-edged sword because you can be very communicated with somebody from a distance, like via like a telephone screen or a computer screen, and then when you meet up in person, um, it just doesn't work out. And I was fortunate enough, um, for the most part, I was fortunate enough that when I actually did meet, because yes, you're going to hear a story about how Ricky lost his mind and went to visit somebody in a different country that he had never met before in real life by himself. Okay, and I was fortunate enough to have it work out and still be alive from it because, as you can see, I'm still functioning as a human being. So it's you kind of have to get lucky sometimes
Yeah.
because, like I said, you can click with somebody online, have all these conversations, but if it doesn't work out in person, what do you really have?
Yeah, I had two relationships that the guy lived in Jersey and I was here, and the one guy like on the phone it was perfect, like it was so great, and like the brief moments we were together, like we were together for like a day or two would be perfect, but like he and ultimately ended up breaking it off with me because I like would go to Jersey for like a week at a time and like stay with him and stuff, and he felt like he's like we are not compatible. Like,
It happens.
and it sucked, and I remember like I felt like my heart was getting ripped out, but it 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 worked ultimately, like worked out for the best. Like if I was still in a relationship like that, I'd probably be in Jersey. I don't necessarily know if I would have found my way onto the show. Like a whole my whole life would be different. I wouldn't have most of the friends I have now. I wouldn't have the awesome life I have now. I definitely wouldn't have the sobriety I have now. Like those are things I like to think, like these things happen for a reason. Which
Oh,
is,
I'm cute. Everything
oh,
happens.
shut up.
So
I
wholesome.
am really like, it's bad. Like I curse a lot and I say a lot of like raunchy things from time to time. But like overall, like I feel like I'm super like mushy and
You would
wholesome.
have been a great sorority girl.
No, I wouldn't have.
Yeah, you would have. You just don't know it.
How?
Trust me. As a guy
Those are
who,
situations like I've always had struggles like have maintaining female friendships. Like I have like a very close knit group of female friends now that like I did not know you could have female friendships like that. They've always overall been like mad unhealthy, and I always just like clicked better with men.
trust me, you'd enjoy sororities because it's bonding over a certain secret bond. It's very Harry Potterish. But if you'll excuse me one second, I do have to move my car, so you can start talking about other parts of the digital stuff, and I will return in like 2 minutes.
Have fun moving your car. Wow, this is,
I'll try.
oh my god, this is so strange.
You got this. You got this.
Do I? Do I have this, y'all? All right. So, I have been on several dating apps in the past. I have tried OkCupid like way back when I was a teenager, and that was just a totally weird situation because it wasn't necessarily so much as swiping right. Like they had like a lot, the profiles were a lot longer, which I really appreciated, and it gave you a very general overview of who a person could be. Like it would tell you everything from their height to like their body type, religion, do they smoke, do they want kids, do they drink, all these things. And it breaks everything down for you. Like these are the shows I like, these are the books I like, these are the foods I like, these are my deal breakers. And I liked how cut and dry it was. But over time, I feel that it wasn't as consumable and it wasn't as bite-sized and it just wasn't as instant as things like Tinder are. So Tinder I had stumbled upon like I think years after its inception because I was always in relationships and I had never needed it, and I was kind of skeeved out by it because I felt like it was just people looking to hook up, not cultivate any sort of meaningful relationship. And like I'm not that kind of person. Like I don't want to like not like have like a meaningful relationship with somebody. Like most of my friends at this point are married or close to married and cohabitating, and being almost 30 and single and not having any kind of like prospect for a future partner and like not knowing if when or if I'm going to have kids, like it's all very daunting. So the concept of wasting time on a very instant, like quick fix sort of app has always been very unappealing to me. But I feel that I have to utilize it anyway because it is hard to meet people, because 9 times out of 10, if I'm going out, people my age are married or or close to married, and I just don't like talking to people in bars. Like I'm not going to come up to somebody that I find attractive because I'm too shy to do it. And I'm not a shy person. It's just putting myself out there is very intimidating for me, and I just don't really do very well. So if I meet people in real life, it's mostly friends introducing me to other friends. Like, oh, this is Kate. This is so-and-so. They're really emo. They like emo music too. You guys should talk. And they like present me with like an instant connection, so I have something to talk about. Whereas if I just go up to a stranger, I'm going in fucking blind, and that scares me. So it is safer for me to sit at home in my sweatpants and swipe left on 95% of the people on Tinder. So Tinder I've used Bumble, but Bumble I gave up on really quickly because just like I won't speak to anybody in person, I struggle with messaging people first because I don't know what to say. Welcome back, Ricky. I know how to say welcome back, Ricky, but I'm really bad at sending the first message because it's scary and it's weird, and I hate being like, sup. Like, I'll say something like, happy Saturday, and it's already awkward from the start. 9 times out of 10, they don't respond, and they don't match with me, and it sucks. So Bumble I gave up on after a week. Then I tried Hinge because a friend of mine found, like, her soulmate on Hinge, and they market it as I believe they call it the app that is meant to be deleted, and I bought into that really, really quickly, but I have found... It's a really good marketing scheme. It's really, really good. And I bought into it, but I feel like I'm not their demographic. So I made a Hinge profile, and I have purple and like blonde hair, as y'all can see.
For now.
So for now, who knows what it'll be in a few months. But most of my pictures are current because I am not disingenuous. And I'm just not like... I think I'm too nice to be on these dating sites because I'm just too honest about everything, which is probably like a really big problem.
Here's the thing I find out with dating apps. By the way, I'm back, folks.
Yeah, I made a comment as you were walking back because I was just rambling. Then I'm like, oh, Ricky's coming back. That's something I know how to say. Because I'm talking about how I'm garbage at talking, like making the first move.
Yeah, it's really fun. What I find with dating apps is that the funnier you are, the better it is. Like, you can't take dating apps too seriously. Like,
No, you can't. But people don't know I'm funny until they get to know me. That's the fucking problem.
Like, you should just make like a really weird one, like, and be like, where you have fake reviews, like the Washington Post said I'm best girl, take home the mom, or something like that.
Oh God.
Something like just really ridiculous. Like sometimes the more ridiculous you get, the better it is. But you also want to be truthful as well. Um, but it's interesting because it only works for a couple of people, and in your instance, being of being queer and being attracted to many different people on the spectrum of sexuality, is there a legit dating app that would be focused for you? And I don't think there is one.
No. So that's another like huge factor in like my experiences with dating apps and how they've mostly been so negative is, so I've heard of Grindr, that's mostly gay men, but I believe lesbians can use it too. And I am too afraid, to be quite frank, to use Grindr.
But like
As you
that's
can,
not even that still even doesn't fit your
it doesn't fit
spectrum.
me at all. And the other dating apps, like it's great. Like Tinder I don't know how recent it is because I don't use these regularly. Like same thing with you. I cycle through them. Like I'll have a phase for like a week and I'll like try it, but like I get frustrated and then I delete it and I swear I'll never do it again. But then
Yeah,
like,
it's me.
but then no, and it's I won't do it for like 8 months, and then I'll be like, "Hey demons, it's me, boy." That's me every fucking time.
Hello,
And
darkness, my old friend.
yep. So I find that like Tinder gives you the option to put like your gender identity on your page, and if you like, I have mine like listed as non-binary, and it asks like when you come up in searches, like what would you prefer to be come up as? Like, would you rather come up for people looking for women? Would you rather come up for people looking for men? So I put women just because like I'm female passing, like putting me for somebody looking to match with a guy, like I don't think would be fair. Whereas if I pass more masculine, then yeah, sure. But I pass more feminine. That's just how it is. So, and it shows on your profile like what your gender identity is if you want it to, and it shows your
yeah, I've seen that.
And it shows like your sexual preference now, which I think is great because I remember like I was saying before, OK Cupid I really enjoyed because it provides you with a lot of information, at least back on the website, where it provides like like religion and like sexuality and like things of that nature, and like it's not an awkward conversation that I necessarily have to have unless the person didn't read my profile, in which case fuck you. Like I hate that shit. Like it's like, oh, so what do you do? It says it in my fucking bio, bro. Why didn't you learn how to read, bro? And this is why I'm not doing well on dating websites. It's because I can't fuck with these illiterate fuck boys. Oh my god, I hate it. I fucking hate it so much.
That is an issue about people tend not to read profiles.
It's stupid. Like you have to read the profile. It's the first part of the vetting process. Usually,
you would think.
No. And then the people that don't have a profile at all, like, what's up with you? That's an automatic swipe left automatically. I don't care how hot you are. I will swipe left on you.
Just photos for the sake of photos?
It could be Roman Reigns himself and I would swipe left.
No, you wouldn't.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, I would. There's no profile information, just pictures? No. That's not healthy, and I don't think that's safe, and I think I would get stabbed. But being queer and like I find I see many more men than I do women. Like I think I get one woman or queer person for every 20 men I come across, maybe even 30 to 1. Like that's the ratio of parking spots to students it was at Suffolk back when I went to college. Like it's fucking disgusting. Like Hinge, I've noticed though I find more women than men because I don't think men are totally caught up to Hinge yet. I think by 3 years from now, men will be on Hinge just as much as they're on Tinder. And I think Tinder could possibly decline because something better is just going to eventually come out.
What makes Hinge so unique, though?
It's really, I think it's very quirky. Like, I like the whole, like, it'll, like, the questions they ask are really, like, random and, like, aesthetically, I like the format of it. But I mostly just me sold on the really good marketing, honestly.
Okay.
A lot of it is that, and then like the fact that like my friend like has met like the love of her life, like sold me like greatly. And like I don't fall for that shit when people are like, "Oh, I met my boyfriend on Tinder." Like, all right, hon, that's great. Like, I don't know. I don't buy it. Like, I don't believe you can, like, I don't necessarily believe you can find a soulmate online.
Finding love in a hopeless place.
Yeah. I didn't
It's
find love in a hopeless place.
it happens sometimes. It's very few and far between, I think, but it does occur.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be really you just like you gotta catch lightning in a bottle sometimes, and some people
I'm
just
just
get lucky.
pessimistic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, as am I. Like I said, I'd rather meet you in person. But
Hmm.
then again, arguably, the person I've been into the most in my entire life happened from meeting on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I literally broke all of my rules and fell for somebody that I had never met before, and ended up for a period of time being very successful.
I don't know if I've ever met anyone on a social media app, like not a dating app. I don't
I
think so.
with my sometimes with the not even with my actual profession, but like with my nighttime persona, which makes me sound like I'm like this weird like stripper. you know, with my nighttime persona, it makes people a lot of more people know who I am and I know them, and so I will get friend requests from like random people who like
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, I've seen you out before. Like you're really cool," and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the same thing being in the music community. Like, I have so many Facebook friends that, like, I have accumulated because, like, oh, I've seen you at a show at, like, Velvet or something.
Yeah.
Like,
So.
there's a safety in being so familiar to so many people,
Mhm.
but it's also kind of weird.
It's very weird. Here's my question for you as we go to digital get down.
Mhm.
Do you think, because a lot of times we talked about, or we have talked about, I think, offline, about how you do like courtesy swipes for your friends and stuff?
I do it.
Do you find more success in dating people of friends or dating pretty much virtually complete strangers?
So pretty much the way, like, I'm gonna just break down like my relationships that like had a hand, but Tinder having a hand in it in some capacity.
Yeah.
So after I broke up with Dean in 2014,
Hmm.
I started dating this very, very hot emo boy named Kevin. We matched on OkCupid, but he worked in the Stop and Shop across my parking lot, so we knew the other one was real. We just never had the balls to talk to each other.
Wow.
And we dated for 9 months, but he broke up with me because he was a sad boy, still in love with his ex-girlfriend, and
So
ultimately,
you're telling me he was too emo for you?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
mm-hmm. Yeah, he broke up. His birthday's on 4th of July, and he didn't show up to his own like birthday party that like me and his friends threw for him
Why?
because he was drunk and being sad for no reason. The boy like I have a drinking problem, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm over 2 years sober. Like this boy could not hold his liquor to save his fucking life. He was like a 16-year-old girl drinking.
Really?
Yeah, like one time we had gone to Schaefer's in Port Jeff, and are you ready for the worst drinking story that's not mine?
Yes,
So
actually.
this is great. So we had a whole like plan. Like we had a hotel. Like we were gonna like drink, and then we were gonna like hang out. We was gonna have a nice like night because like usually like either
We're
one of
gonna
us.
drink and go to a hotel and have a nice night. You mean you're gonna go to Pound Town?
So no, because like, either one of us would have to drive or like had to work in the morning. So like we never like got to both go out drinking together. So we were
Yeah.
excited. So I wanted to do the porch at pub crawl a little bit.
Okay.
So we went to Billy's and I think had a shot. And then we went to Spy Coast probably and had a drink. And then I'm like, fuck it, I want to dance. I'm like, let's go to Schaefer's. So I was just drinking like beer. Like I didn't want to get like wasted
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons. So he had a shot at Billy's. Then we had done a shot at Spy Coast. So we're both like 2 shots in. And then I've switched to beer. So he then orders 5 lemon drop shots and just does them back to back.
Lemon drops are like the easiest
Uh-huh.
shots to take.
Lemon drops.
There's like
Like
no alcohol.
lemon jello.
There's more sugar than alcohol.
So then he does 5 of them, and then I go, okay, then. And his friend is with us because his friend was nice enough to be our DD. So we're both kind of trying to see like if we can fuck with Kevin. So I got Kevin to drink an appletini because him and his best friend at the time were Sean. No, what's his name? No, JD and Turk from Scrubs.
Nice.
Legit. So, and Kevin was very much JD, and his friend Sean was Turk. So I'm like, you need to have an appletini. So he has an appletini. I maybe now like 3 beers in at this point. He then orders 6 more lemon drop shots, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. I had 1, so he had 5. So he's done 12 shots and had an appletini.
It's bad for performance.
It gets better. We're not even close to done yet. Then I wanted to go smoke a cigarette because this is when I used to smoke a pack a day.
Wow.
Smoking.
It's like I don't know you anymore.
Yeah, I used to drink. I used to smoke a pack a day. Like I was a horrible person. So I wanted to go smoke a cigarette, but I couldn't bring my drink outside. So Kevin just chugged my beer. I'm like, okay, fine. I guess that's how that's gonna go. And then Kevin disappears. He's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, great. And his friend goes with him. Next thing I know, the bouncers tap me on their shoulder saying, you gotta go. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, and like I wasn't like drunk or anything, like legit, like was like behaving. And I'm like, look, like I'm so sorry. I'm like, but I'm not supposed to smoke here. Like I'll move. He goes, no. He's like, you didn't do anything wrong. Then I look behind him and see my dumbass boyfriend being held up by a bartender, and I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, what do you do? And I'm like, what do you do? They go, she's like, your man's drunk. Like he almost went head first into the urinal. I'm like, got it. Okay, we're leaving. I'm really sorry. So the kid is fucking wasted, and I'm just like, and I'm mad. I'm like, I'm not getting laid. I'm not getting laid. It's over. But he was like upset that I wasn't drunk yet, or not that drunk yet. He goes, come on. He's like, we're gonna keep going, and I'm like, you're done. Yeah. No, we kept going. Well, I kept going. I think I went to Spy Coast again and had another shot, and then I had another beer. Then Kevin goes in the bathroom, and he's gone for a long time. 20 minutes go by, and I'm like, okay, I'm going in. Boy's puking in the sink, and I'm like, great. I lift him. I don't know how I lifted him. He's a bigger, like a very muscular dude. I fucking lift, and I was like 95 pounds at the time. I fucking lifted his ass up and got him to the toilet. He's puking. We were there until I got his friend in the bathroom with me. Like we were in there till the bar closed. So then the bartender like knocks on the door. He goes, all right, you got to go. And then he sees me in the bathroom with 2 guys. And he's like, nice. And I'm like, no. Then he sees Kevin. He goes, oh. He goes, never mind. Yeah, so like the fucking bouncer thought I had a 3-way in a Port Jeff bathroom. Like,
keep it classy,
no.
Port Jeff.
So only in Port Jeff this shit happens. So we like make it back to the hotel. And it's like 5 o'clock in the morning now. And
it was just sleeping hours.
Yeah. Where it's 5 a.m. And I just know, like, my night's done. Sure enough, he's puking in the bathtub now. He didn't puke in, like, a toilet the whole night. Like, he puked anywhere but a toilet.
What in the hell did he, like, that's ridiculous.
Oh, my God. It was horrible. Like, so I call, like, his best friend. I'm like, Mama, I'm like, I fucked up. And his friend that was with us sent a video of Kevin just puking in the toilet, and I got, like, yelled at by Kevin's sister. She goes, how could you let him get that drunk? I'm like, I didn't know this would happen. Like, deadass didn't know. Because he wanted to outdrink me, but I wasn't trying to be outdrunk, and I didn't want to get that drunk to be outdrank. It was horrible.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. So that was my, like, first Tinder relationship.
Yeah, I've never had a Tinder relationship.
I had a man named Nick Cannon.
Nice.
That was the one from New Jersey. The one that we ended up breaking up because we were incompatible. The reason I had matched with him is because he has friends that live like a town away from me that they met on Xbox when they were like 13. So they visit each other. So he was on Long Island one weekend. And, like, we matched, and then I didn't realize he was from Jersey right away.
Nice.
Is that it? Can't be it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Like, you've had more Tinder success than me, so.
Yeah. It was, and then, like, random, like, people I've like dated, but like were never like my boyfriend. Like last summer, like I was like I connected with a bartender at a bar I go to through Tinder that I ended up seeing for like a month and a half.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, I actually have a really interesting Tinder story.
still.
Before I guess we wrap up this one, but I do have an interesting Tinder story, um, that I can now recall because for some reason as I talk to you, this random thing pop up in my head.
We're
Um,
giving each other therapy.
no, something like that. So I matched with a girl when I was in grad school, and
Hmm.
I'd seen her at a bar before. Very pretty girl, like tan, like very tan, brown hair, green eyes, like just like
Hmm.
this was a winner right here. Um, and her name was Ani. So I matched with Ani, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And I would see Ani, and Ani, very hippie girl.
Okay.
Uh, but like cool shit. Nothing came of it, or whatever. But it was really funny. So I was out at the bar at one of the bars with my friend Melissa, and we were going through my. I was like, oh, I matched with this girl Ani. She's at the bar all the time. She's like, shut the fuck up. You matched with Ani, and I was like, yeah. What's the big deal? She's like, that's Ani Ani. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, that's Ani of Alex and Ani.
What?
and my dumbass straight male self was like, what the fuck is Alex and Ani?
Are you joking me right now?
I shit you not. Actually, I matched with Ani.
Ahem. Ahem. Are you fucking joking?
Are you pulling out your Alex
You're
and Ani?
goddamn right I am.
Yes.
It's a bumblebee.
I matched with the heiress of Alex and Ani, yes.
How did you match with the heirs of Alex and Ani on Tinder?
We just did. It's just one of the things. Ani was great.
That's amazing. Did
I
you get
miss-
jewelry out of her?
No, we didn't. Like I said, nothing came of it. We didn't date. We didn't talk. Or it was just one of those things. Like it was just a random match.
Oh.
It was really fun because we acknowledged that we both matched with each other on Tinder.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Ani was cool because freaking because whenever Ani would get drunk, she would like run up to me and like jump on me.
Ooh.
Like, hi, Ani. What do you want, you freaking empty? That's the one. That's probably the biggest name person I've ever matched with on Tinder.
Have I ever? Have I matched with anyone like high? No one like mad high profile like at all.
Mm-hmm.
I matched with someone in this band. Have you ever heard of the band Dr. Acula?
No, sounds like Dracula.
So a couple years ago, I had matched with one of the ex-singers of Dr. Acula. Turns out he lived the block next to mine.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a weird time. We went out on 2 dates. The first date, we were both wasted.
Nice.
Because I wanted.
Ended up well.
Oh my god. No, I wanted to go to I used to go to karaoke every Tuesday at Napper Candies. Like that was like my like regular like thing. Like hell or high water, no matter what, I went to karaoke. So I invited him to come one night, especially because when I like meet people from like Tinder, I don't like to like meet them on a date first. That's another thing I probably like should have said last week. Like say I like to like invite them to like a show or like an event I'll be at.
Okay.
So I don't get raped or killed.
You like to be out when you're like in a community
Or
event.
Yeah, like if I'm out already, be like, oh, like I'm at Meatball Place, you should totally come.
I love the Meatball Place.
Meatball Place is fun. So like I'll do something like that before I go out on a date. Because I don't know, I just don't. The idea of going out on a date with a stranger scares me. Very, very much.
It's that intimacy.
Yeah, and the fear of getting murdered. But
That's you.
oh my god, where was I in my story? I got distracted by thinking about the Meatball Place.
Meatball and Alex and Ani.
So the singer of Dr. Acula. So yes. I invited him to karaoke, and like I knew like I had to like behave and like not get like wrecked like I normally would because I was supposed to be like meeting a guy. But the guy was like mad late, and I don't like lateness. Like lateness is my number one pet peeve in life. It drives me fucking crazy.
I'll remember that next time.
My blood pressure is rising thinking about it. So this motherfucker is like an hour late. And then he texts me. He goes, "Hey," he's like, "I'm on my way now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." I'm like, "What took you so long?" I'm drunk already. I didn't care. I was just mad. I'm like, "I'm just gonna keep pounding PBRs. I don't give a fuck." He goes, "I had a couple beers." And I'm like, "Oh, good. You're drunk too." So I remember he walked in the bar and he was like 5'5", and I'm like, "Fuck."
Wow.
I'm 5'2". Like, I can't do that. But like, I'm like, whatever. Like, he's here. We had so much fun. Like, we actually had a really good time. Like, we never hooked up or anything. Like, we kissed. We smoked weed and watched The Nightmare Before Christmas. It was the most emo date I've ever been on. And then the next morning, cause I stayed at his house, and like I woke up, and he was the dumbest fucking person I had ever spoken to in my life. And
Wow,
I'm like,
really?
yeah, he was like really stupid, and I like couldn't handle it. But then I agreed to hang out with him like a week later. He goes, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." He goes, "You want to like have a couple beers and like listen to music?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll be over in 2 minutes." And like we just like hung out. Like it wasn't anything like romantic the second time.
Huh.
But like, yeah, that was the only like high profile person I really spoke to.
Not bad, not bad. Ooh, I just thought of something, but I'll save that one for another one. It does has nothing to do with digital at all.
Another
So
episode.
yeah, another episode. It's we'll call it the cradle robbing episode.
I can't
Oh,
wait.
you have more than me, so
Yeah, I do.
um, but no, but I guess before we wrap up, because we're again going on another hour-long fiasco, especially
Yeah.
with digital stuff. Um, actually, so if we are gonna go forward with me, obviously, like joining a dating app, should we? What dating app should we put me on? Should we put me on Hinge?
I think you should give Hinge a fair try because you haven't tried it as much.
We'll have to do an episode where I put myself back on Hinge,
Yes.
or I put myself on Hinge. Maybe before I leave for
Ricky Rose, unhinged.
I'll do it after my birthday then. So we'll do it in like a month or so.
We'll do it in March.
Yeah, we'll do it in March. Called March Madness.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, but also, all right. So like, here's a question. What do you look for in like an online dating profile that's gonna make you want to like swipe right?
I think I could better tell you what I'll swipe left on.
Okay.
I'm, the more I'm verbalizing my online dating experience, I think I'm kind of horrible. Like I'm really bad at it. Um, I've recently started left swiping if you say just looking for the Pam to my gym.
Wow, really? You don't like Office references?
The Office is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. But it's just overdone, and I feel like that people, and this is like coming from me who like loves The Office, would die for that show.
Mm.
People think loving The Office is like a personality, and I don't like it.
No, it just means you like the show.
No, like people get like mad weird about it, and I don't vibe with that very well. I'll swipe on that. If there are like mad like spelling errors and like carelessness, like I swipe left because I feel like if you can't take the time to like fill it out properly, like you probably don't have like the time or energy to like take care of me properly. I swipe left on. I sound like such a bad person.
You're fine.
I swipe left on like so much, and sometimes like I can just look at someone, and if I just have the sense that they're gonna be a douchebag, I'm out. If I just get like a bad vibe, like I'll just put it that way.
Gotcha. I know what I'll swipe left on.
What do you swipe left on?
Because I get this a lot, I guess, on the male side of Tinder and stuff. People are like, no fuck boys, done with that shit, looking for a serious relationship. Usually,
I swipe left on those people too.
I'm looking for a serious relationship. I was like, you're probably a refined whore. Or people who are just like, check out my Instagram. Like, I respond more on there, which you don't. You're just there for like followers.
Yeah.
I hate people who blatantly use Snapchat filters.
Yeah. If you only have Snap filters, I swipe left. What else?
What's another couple? People are like not here for bullshit. This is a good one.
I hate when people put height requirements on their page.
Oh, I hate that too.
I hate height requirements.
Like 5'10" and up.
I hate also people that put in their profile like I don't like if you write if you're 420 friendly, but I also hate more like if you write like if you're 420 friendly, swipe left or whatever. Like shit like that. If you write anything that's like if you're X, then swipe left.
Oh yeah, I heard people were like,
and like
I
I've had to
Trump.
I've swiped left on so many people that like I might have swiped right on because it's like, oh, swipe left if you like are 420 friendly. Like I'm not willing to compromise any sort of my existence for a Tinder boy. Sorry.
Trump
And I'm not
supporter
gonna
swipe.
lie about it. Like if I date somebody that doesn't smoke weed, I won't smoke around them or with them. Like it's nothing serious. At least not to me. People are different.
Trump supporter swipe right. Swipe left.
Yeah, if I have a sense you voted for Trump, I'm out. Nope.
You know, so it's the people with MAGA hats. I'm just like, nah,
yeah.
It's not gonna fly, homie.
I've swiped left on people that like the red it's not a MAGA hat, but like it says something else. If I even see that, I swipe left just because I automatically have like a bad feeling and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. People like I don't swipe on people who have like more than one person in their profile pictures.
I don't like that either. Like I don't like
if
somebody
they don't have like a solo shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little weird to me. I don't like, and this is a problem men have. Men are not good at taking pictures at all.
No, we're not.
Fix it. Fix it. Just fucking men, fix it. Like, nobody wants a picture of you like, stop. And then a lot of people are clearly posting pictures that are from 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
I've seen a lot of that. Like, I don't know, people should just be themselves.
Really? Be themselves? It's much easier to be someone you're not. Especially online. That's what catfishing is for.
I was a fail. I did bad at acting for a reason. Like I was a theater kid who can't act. Like I'm one of those like all heart no talent kind of people where I can sing, but like I'm not great at dancing and acting. I was questionable because like I'm very much myself and I cannot contain it for a moment, which benefits me now. Well, yes. I think my little branding became my fucking actual name.
What do you mean?
Like the Kate Murphy became my whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Just because I made it my Instagram one day. Like, I changed my Instagram name to that, like, after it being some probably emo bullshit. And then I just, like, slowly, like, switched everything over because I liked it and nobody had it. And it was and I don't like having to use my name with numbers.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to be, like, Kate Murphy 420. Like, it feels so immature to me. So
Kate Murphy 420.
Kate Murphy's the only way I've been able to like use my actual name for like avatars and like whatnot.
Yeah.
And I like that, like I like who I am and I like how I turned out.
And so, eventually you'll find somebody who likes you for you.
We'll see. We'll fucking see.
If not, there's always cats.
That is true. I used to have 4.
I have 2. Where those shits are at right now.
Oh, I had 4 when I was a fuckboy. I had 4.
Why? Where are all of them now?
He had them. I couldn't take them.
Oh, fair enough.
That's one of the reasons. Like the main reason I stayed in that relationship were my cats.
You learn to love them.
Well, yeah, I never had cats before him. Like my parents aren't into cats. Like I just didn't come from a cat family.
Cats are dope.
They're so good.
They're so dope. Anyway, I think it's about time to wrap us up then.
Yes, it is.
So what we learned today is Kate is forcing me to go back into the digital world in a month.
And I have learned that I am really bad at online dating. Like worse than I thought I was. Just by like having to verbalize how I communicate in this like weird fucked up virtual jungle. I'm horrible and I probably need therapy. That's fine.
You just got to use your wits. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't been able to find the fine line between like me when I'm, speaking articulate and like, because I am like really smart and a lot of people don't always get that just because of how like I am all the time. So I haven't found the fine line between that yet.
You'll get there.
Because I either come off as mad bitchy, and I've been told, like, on Tinder, like, you're really intimidating. Like, you have your people think I have my shit together so much that it's scary.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, but it's weird. I used to get, like, matched all the time because I was clearly a train wreck. So men felt that they could talk to me because I was such a train wreck. Now they're all afraid of me.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You'll find someone who's not afraid.
And so will you.
Yeah,
And also with you.
Yeah, right. Peace be with you. It's really funny. My friend, one of my DJs that I work with, who I'm going to be working with tonight, actually, his girlfriend, gorgeous. They actually met each other one night when he was out DJing. Yeah, and I believe he is going to marry her.
Oh, that's so fucking cute.
So she's a doll, like she's amazing, and I talked to her about a lot of stuff. You know how I did an ultimate long distance with somebody from another country. She told me about before she met her current boyfriend, one of my best friends. She was dating a guy in Australia, and periodically go back and forth to Australia.
No way.
Yeah, she's also about to open up her own. She started her own makeup business.
Put her on the show.
Make me blush. Yeah. Oh, I should bring her on. If I bring both of them on, actually, they're interesting. But she's always asked about me, and so the other day, she was out. She came through her and her boyfriend when he wasn't working. They just came out to the bar. She was like, so you got a Valentine? I laughed. Like,
yeah, I had that happen at work yesterday, and I got sad.
I laughed uncontrollably. I was like, you fucking joking.
You know what I realized? This is the 4th year in a row I'm going to spend Valentine's Day watching wrestling live because 2020 is SmackDown's on Friday, Valentine's Day's on Friday.
That's
Last year, because we're on a leap year this year, NXT was on Valentine's Day. Year before that, SmackDown was on TV, and then the year before that, Raw was on TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching SmackDown on Valentine's Day because I can't wait for Otis and Mandy's wedding.
I can't. I sent Will a picture.
Not
of, like,
wedding, actually. It's their date. I said wedding. It's an actual date.
Yeah, but we're getting to the wedding. I think they should get married.
Who knows? Otis is giving me hope that something can happen.
Same though.
Go Otis. Anywho, let's wrap this up. Let's get out of here.
Yes, please. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Love and War. And I'm way too high to close out the show, apparently. But it is me, the Queen Bee. You can find me on Instagram at the Kate Murphy. You can find me on Twitter at the Kate Murphy _. And you can find me wasting my life away on Tinder. But real talk, though, I haven't been on it in like 3 weeks. I get notifications just to tell me people have liked me and to sign up for Tinder Gold to see who they are.
I did it accidentally once.
It's really sad. Fun. I don't want to know.
Tinder Gold's interesting. I did that for a while.
I don't want to pay for that. Like, not for nothing. Like, I deserve to find love without having to pay 99 cents or whatever for it.
It's the reason why I don't do dating apps.
Nope.
But
here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are yet again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's King Ricky Rose, your general manager of Wrestle Addict Radio, and of course, your host of Kings of the Rings podcast. So thank you guys for listening. Obviously, find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media, except for the social media that matters. For this episode, no digital dating apps for me, unless you count Twitter, because sometimes Twitter works out in my favor. And what I mean, sometimes I mean only once in a blue moon. So find me at Ambassador Biggs. Thanks for watching. Thank you to all our Patreon people for signing up. Bring more of your friends on here if you have people that enjoy wrestling and all this extra love content in the forever search of WrestleBay. Please have them join our Patreon.
We'll see you guys later.
Toodles.